Good to see you guys.
Yep, good to be here.
Yep. How you guys been doing?
I'm good. I'm
How's the weather?
trying
How's
to
the weather
recover
out
from
there?
all the storms and all the crap that's been going on.
You've been getting a lot of storms there, huh?
Some gnarly wind, yeah,
Yeah.
like 110 mile an hour, I think is what they were recording.
Hell, dude. That's like hurricane force wind.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like semis upside down on the freeway and tearing buildings apart, and yeah, it's been gnarly.
Yeah, I think I saw a video on one of the trucker groups that there was a truck that was going down, I think 25 or one of them, and it showed that damn truck just going like this and falling, and they fell over. I think it was in Wyoming.
Yeah, 25 and 80 have both been terrible.
Yeah. What about you, Ben? What's been going on with you?
Nothing. Work.
Rinse and repeat.
Nothing.
It's pretty much the same thing, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, so thanks for coming, guys.
Mhm.
Um, this is a kind of a learning process for me. I always wanted to do something like this, and now I'm like, okay, but I'm learning. I'm learning microphones. I'm learning video. I'm still trying to figure out what's what. But anyways, today I wanted to talk about friendships, and for me, what better sub or who better to talk to about that than two people I've known literally my whole life. I mean, I can't think of two people more suited to be able to talk about this and the importance of what friendship is and what friendship brings to people. Um, I know it's shit. I think what was it? 1983 is when I first met you, Brian. Right? Something about that. Fifth grade. So
Yeah, give or take.
give or take. So it's been 40, 42 plus years. Ben, I've known since what, 16, 17 years old.
I was
We moved
13.
in. Yeah, so we moved in right below you guys. And so, and we've been friends ever since. And uh, now I lost my train of thought. Um, for me, in my experience, friendship has been probably the most vital thing to my life in my way. You guys have been more family to me than even my own mom and sister, and you guys know that. Um, and I think in today's society, in today's day and age, I think friendship, guy friendship, is probably one of the most important, fundamental things a guy should have, or could have. Um, I think it's essential for being a good person. Uh, Making good choices because they're there to kind of steer you, keep you in the right direction. Um, I know when I've been down in luck, you guys have both been there for me. Um, my first divorce, you Brian, you flew up there and came back with you down to your family in California, and that really helped me. That's for me is what friendship's really about. Even at the darkest times, you get your guys there that'll help you out no matter what. You know. Um, and what do you guys think? What defines friendship for you guys? Because that was kind of like that's my whole thing is that you're there for each other, thick and thin. You don't have to worry about being judged. You don't have to worry about explaining yourself. It's just your guys are there for you through everything.
Well, I definitely agree on the fundamental part of that. But I also think that friendships kind of come in different, I guess, different stages, different flavors, whatever. Um, and they kind of go in cycles for a lot of cases because you've got like what we've got. We've had our core friendship for forever. Um, but then you also throughout your time, you make kind of your, I don't know, like satellite friends. Like people you work with, um, people you encounter throughout throughout your travels. Things you do, and they all kind of fill a different niche.
Yeah.
Um, there's and I guess sometimes they even your core friends can still come from those other places. They just kind of, I guess, solidify a little bit more.
Yeah.
Um, but you've got kind of that saying that you've got you got your friends that you can call at 2 in the morning because you need a vent, and then you got your friends you can call 2 in the morning because you need to hide a body. Um, you know, um,
Yeah.
so so I think they just kind of come in different flavors, and everybody kind of serves their different niche in your life. Um, but having that core group that can endure through everything, um, I think that's what a lot of people probably don't have. I think it's uh, kind of a lost thing in the world right now. Um, so so yes, I don't know. I mean, I definitely think it's very crucial to have those, but something that I wonder how many actually have.
Yeah. No, I agree. I remember my uncle Steve. He told me a long time ago. He said, if you grow up and you have one really good close friend that sticks with you through everything and is still there 40, 50 years from now, you're a very lucky person. And I look at us and I'm like, you know what? We got a core group of 4 or 5 people and we've been friends since we were kids and we're still friends today. And for me, that speaks for itself that we're a good group of key guys that we're tight, we're blessed, we're lucky. And like you said, I see a lot of guys in some of these men groups and like Facebook groups and stuff, and there's a lot of them out there. They're starving for friendship, just male friendship, nothing gay or anything. It's guys, it's your bros. It's the call up, go have a beer or go grab a bite to eat or just hang out. And like you're right, I think it's a dying thing. I don't besides us, I don't know many guys out there who have friends like we have, like each other, that we've been friends for, decades and decades. So it's exactly right. What about you, Ben? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know anyone right now off the top of my head who has the core group like we have. Um, my nephew for sure. I think my brother's kid does, but he doesn't really talk to anyone. So I think he does. But my other nephew, he's got maybe one friend in Montana, and then my brother has no friends, unfortunately. And yeah, what was the other question?
Well, what do you think? What do you think friendship means to you? I mean, what if you were to define what real good friends mean to each other? What do you think it is?
Oh, loyalty,
Loyalty.
loyalty,
Yeah,
loyalty. You were talking about
definitely.
your divorce, your first divorce, or your divorce earlier, and I actually look back and wish I had been there more for you. know, but I'm always full of
Oh,
regrets.
oh no, dude, you were there for me too. I mean, you let me rent one of your rooms out. When I
Oh
was
yeah.
this was after. Yeah, you let me rent one of your rooms. That was after my first marriage, and I was in kind of a bad spot. And you was like, hey, you know what? I got an extra room, so you've helped me out in different ways, and Brian's helped me out in different ways. Eric helped me out in different ways. You guys have all done different things in different ways. So it's not about being there more or less. It's just it's a different dynamic for each of us. Me
Yeah.
and Brian have a different kind of friendship than me and you. Me and Eric have a
Right.
different friendship than me and Brian. It's just so it's not better or worse than either, or, but it's a different dynamic is all.
Right. I agree with that. Like, yeah, me and Eric have a different, you know, the Vegas thing, where Randy
Yeah,
was the other Vegas thing.
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
drop a hat, that guy would do it.
Yeah, no kidding.
But you were speaking of satellite friends. I consider Underwood to be my satellite friend. Not a
Yeah,
not a close friend, but a close friend of a close friend.
yeah, exactly.
And I
And
see
that's
him.
and like what's that?
He shops at my store now because he knows the produce manager, and then he knows me. So now he shops there. So I see him all the time now. But,
Yeah, no, I agree. No, and that's it. I did actually another recording with Brandon, Randy's friend, Brandon.
Hmm.
I did one yesterday with him, and we were trying. And I kind of wanted to do two different episodes, kind of break it up because my friendship with like you guys are different than like my friendship with like Brandon, because I didn't know Brandon growing up. The only reason I know Brandon is because of Randy, and he's one of those satellite friends that I got to know. And but I never hung out with him. I never called him outside of Randy's parties. But ever since Randy passed, it was like me and him have actually been talking a lot. And he's like, yeah, it's, and I never in a million years, I probably would never have gotten to know him if it wasn't for Randy. And, we just kind of two different personalities and two different types of people. But like you were saying earlier, Brian, he's a different type of friend. It comes in different forms. Um, and Brandon's a cool dude. I've last ever since Randy passed, me and him talk a lot more, and it's just we have a lot of the same values and morals and outlooks and stuff like that. And I mean, I consider him a good friend now. Especially him. He's like, hey, I'll do this podcast thing with you, and I'm like, hell yeah. So, and we talked for a few hours last night about everything. So like you said, Brian, it comes in different forms, and and I think it's a valuable thing nowadays that you kind of open up your mind to possibilities of other friendships. And like I was telling him, growing up, I only had you guys, and that's all I needed. I didn't need any other friends. I didn't want any other friends because I had you guys. And I was hesitant on even trying to make new friends, even through work or wherever else, because I had trust issues. I didn't I had you guys, that was it. But as you get older, you start opening up and you start looking at other guys and getting to know other guys. It's like, you know what? It's actually enriches your own life and your own experience when you actually get to know other people. And it kind of just adds to the whole flavor of life, in my opinion.
yeah,
Yeah,
Brandon's.
and oh, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, Brandon would be a satellite friend for me. We're not very close, but we would be close if we hung out, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've met the dude like twice, so I don't know him.
Yeah. And that's kind of like I said earlier, getting to know other people is an important thing. And I think having you guys saved me. If we can go back to that, you guys saved me from probably going down a darker path. And that's where I wanted to talk about like the whole how important a friend is nowadays. And like you said earlier, Brian, I don't see this kind of connection anymore with guys. I think and this is another thing too, technology. I think technology has really made people more disconnected from each other.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, I think it's just
Yeah,
they'd rather bury their head in a phone or on a screen or the younger generations, they're burying their faces and heads into video games, and that's where they're having their connections. Where we grew up, we didn't have video games and phones and all that crap, so we were kind of forced to actually get to know each other in person, talk to each other, go out and ride our bikes for 20 miles, in one day. So yeah, I
Well,
think
I mean, we had the video games and all that stuff, but we lived in a different generation, different environment where we didn't, just hanging out in the house playing video games and whatever all day was not a acceptable thing.
yeah,
No.
Kind of that, I guess kind of that, the meme lore or whatever of we're Gen X. We raised on hose water and neglect. You know,
yeah,
get out the house and don't come back till the streetlights come on.
yep.
Sounds
Um,
about right.
so that's just the environment that we grew up in versus today. You know, people don't do that. We don't push our kids outside. We let them bury their face in a video game or a TV show or their phones and their social media and all that. And now everybody, because they've lost those friendships that I think that we grew up with, now they live and die by their social media. They live and die whether how many people follow them on TikTok or something. It's just different culture that has been created.
I just don't get it.
Uh, I don't either, but
Yeah.
it's the reality.
Oh, I know. I see it at work all the time. I work with a lot of younger people. Everyone's got an ear pod in, and that I can't get past that because we were not allowed to do that when I first started. First of all, they didn't exist, but you weren't allowed to wear headphones at work for sure. Yeah.
What kind of detriments do you think that's doing to like our younger men and even guys? I see guys our age that are not as I guess damaged from that because they did grow up in our generation, so they probably did have some, but the younger guys, Gen X, I mean Gen Y and Z and all that, millennials, I think I see things going downhill and they're continuing in that direction.
Well, I think the big thing that I see that's damaging from it is the how to put it it's the social conditioning. Um, is nobody's really allowed to, or nobody allows themselves to really get out and interact with people directly. Um, and they're told how to live their lives, how they should think, what they should feel, what they should say, etc., by social media posts.
Yeah,
And you've got the ones that are, they're keyboard warriors. They'll run their mouth all day long behind a computer, knowing damn well that they cannot get say any of those things in person for fear of just getting straight ass kicked.
yeah,
Um, so I think that's damaging. Actually, I think that's hugely detrimental. Um, because there's just not that in person interaction. You don't learn the how to deal with people. You don't learn how to interact effectively, um, because you kind of create this bubble for yourself, uh, being being tied. Your whole life is lived behind a screen. Um, so you know you could be the coolest person or the biggest ass, and nobody knows who you are because you are what you present on screen. And and I think also, you we're seeing it in the workplace as well. People show up to work and they can't handle that personal interaction to be able to effectively do a job. And so that
very
they think that their key to life is making TikTok videos and hopefully get it monetized, and that's the way they want to live their lives, is by doing dumb shit online.
Yeah.
I mean, just where I work, I can't even tell how many people that get hired. They show up, they can't even work a full shift. They get so flustered with having to do something that they'll take off for a lunch break and never come back. Their first day on the job, I'm serious, they take a lunch break and don't come back
Oh, this is
because
too
they
much
just
for me.
can't, because they just can't roll that way. And I think that a lot of that is because they don't know how to function in society.
Yeah. No, I had the same experience years ago when I was working warehouses. We get people in, usually temp agencies. We get a bunch of people, and by lunchtime, half of them were gone because they didn't want. They were working too hard. They didn't get enough breaks. They didn't get enough. They couldn't carry their phones inside the warehouse because it's a dangerous situation with forklifts running around, so you can't be on your phone. So a lot of them got pissy. It's like, well, I want to hear my phone and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, but yeah, these younger generations, they have no work ethic whatsoever. It's embarrassing.
No, and
There's
I
a
think
mis-
they're just not. I think some of it is they're just not taught a work ethic because they've come from that culture of instant gratification. I want it now, and whoever my primary caregiver is doing that for me.
Yeah,
Whether
there
it
are
be a parent, a partner, spouse, whatever the case may be. There is somebody that handles their life for them, and when they're faced with having to do things for themselves, they're just incapable of doing so.
yeah,
there's some exceptions. Like there's that.
what exceptions? Or did your thing freeze, Bryn?
Yeah.
Oh,
Did it freeze on you?
it froze on my end.
Yeah, me too. That was weird.
But
Yeah.
yeah. What were the exceptions you were saying about?
Oh, just some of the younger kids at work. I said they're the exceptions. They're actually motivated and ambitious, but their parents also work there too. So, you know, they were
Yeah,
taught
Well,
differently.
there's always going to be an exception to everything. There's not,
Yeah,
it's not a hard fast rule, but it's just, kind of generalizing. Uh,
generalize. Yeah.
yeah, of course. Well, so I wanted to pick your brain about this, Brian, because you were in the service and everything. What is the difference between guys that you were in the field and on the battlefield with, as opposed to the guys that like us, that we grew up and stuff like that? What's the main differences there?
ooh, a lot. Um, a lot of it is, oddly enough, it's kind of forced friendship. Um, you know, because when you're in an environment that's fairly closed in, and so you kind of bond by, oh, I've heard it referred to as shared trauma. Um, so because everybody's there doing the same thing, and it sucks equally for everyone, or it's great equally for everyone. It's
Yeah,
so you kind of bond over those common things, and some you develop closer relationship to than others. Uh, just because of whatever personalities, or whatever would ordinarily drive a friendship. Um, but in some ways, particularly like in in conflict, when on the battlefield, and all those kinds of things, um, you tend to develop pretty strong bonds pretty quickly because you're so dependent upon each other to accomplish your mission. Um, I mean, I've got guys that I served with that, from, I did maybe one deployment with them for a few months, and we're lifelong friends. Well, I still keep in touch with them. Um, or one of them will call me up and like, hey, how are things going, whatever. And we kind of followed each other's careers and whatnot. So it created a different bond. um, Kind of what I was saying earlier is, you make friends at different stages in your life that fill those different niche positions. Not necessarily a satellite friend, but because there is definitely a strong bond there. It's just a different kind of bond born out of a different situation.
Yeah.
But those, and some of those are guys that even, I may not have spoken to them in 10 or 15 years, but I could call them up right now and be like, hey, I need to hide a body, and they will be on the first plane here. You know what I mean? It's that kind of a bond that that we may not have spoken for a decade or more, but when we do speak, it's like there was no time that passed.
Yeah. What was that, Ben? Pepsi?
Yep.
You need to switch over to Pepsi Zero, man.
Oh, I don't. That 2 liter has lasted me 2 weeks now.
Oh, wow. That's pretty
No, I
good.
don't. I hardly ever. I don't drink much soda anymore.
That's good.
That I just barely filled it up, and that's going to last me all day. So.
Okay, so another question. Has there been situations in either of you guys' lives where like a friendship really meant something more than just the friendship? It was kind of got you through a rough time, or a moment that was like, you know what, that's, kind of like you guys did for me. Was there something that you guys had been through that was like, hey, you know what, that dude's solid. He got me through this and that. Have either of you guys been through that?
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Probably not to the extent you guys have because I've never been married. But when I was a teenager, you and Eric stood up pretty good for me. You know, when I was freaking out over Jennifer Cup, remember?
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, girls will do that.
Yeah, that's when I knew you guys were lifelong friends. But I'm sure there's other examples. I just can't think of it right now.
Yeah. What
And
about you,
then,
Brian?
Yeah, definitely, and in different ways. I've been through some dark times, been to some dark places in my head, and went through some pretty hard things to deal with. And so I had, like you guys that were there, maybe didn't know why, but you were there. And then I've had other guys that I served with that definitely pulled me back from the edge.
Yeah.
There was, I had some pretty hairy times on my overseas adventures, and between what was going on back here, aspects of my life that I had no control over back here in the world, combined with what I was doing, what my job had me doing, and the amount of pressure that I was under to do that job, and the extra pressure that I put on myself because of the nature of the job. Um, and trying not to, yes, try to not show weakness. As a leader, being in a leadership position. Um, I had young guys that lived and died by my word, and so that I put a lot of pressure on myself to not let them down, which in turn really made it difficult for me to be able to um, deal with what was really bothering me. And I had a friend that I served with, that he he kind of started seeing some things that he recognized, and was able to kind of pull me back from the edge and help me get my head straight a little bit, and able to more focus on what I had to do. Um, but otherwise, yeah, had that not happened, there's a fair chance I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah.
Because I was in a pretty dark spot, and was taking a lot of unnecessary risks, and putting myself in some positions that I probably should not have been in.
Yeah, I can't say I can understand that because I've never been in the military and I've never been overseas in wars and stuff like that. But I do remember a conversation me and you had once. This was years ago. This was when you came back to the stateside. I know you. I think I'm not sure what day it was. I think it might have been around the 4th of July. But I know you were not. You put up a picture of of a guy looking at himself in a mirror. The mirror was, bloodied, but the guy was fine. It was kind of like one of those silent things. And I
Right?
remember I
Yeah.
asked, yeah, I called you up and I was like, dude, if we need to talk, it's I'm here. And I remember your exact words, like, you appreciate it, but you wouldn't understand. And I was like, at the time, I was like, you know what, I'm not sure, but yeah, now I look back, I'm like, yeah, it's especially guys that have been over war, overseas and at war and stuff like that. That's a whole different experience that I couldn't even begin to fathom.
Yeah, it is for sure. It's, you definitely, if you haven't lived it, you'll never understand it.
Yeah,
Um, but that doesn't negate the effort, though, um, because just knowing that someone is there that's willing to listen is just as important as understanding what's going on.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, that definitely, yeah, that was there was some feelings I was going through when around that time. Um,
yeah,
and also that picture, that was also kind of my way to illustrate not only what I was feeling, but what a lot of other people were feeling, and go through on the daily. Um, that was actually one of a whole group of pictures that I came across, that kind of made their rounds through the internet and whatnot. Um, but it was, I thought there were some pretty powerful images that kind
they
of
were.
kind of help illustrate what's really going on.
Yeah, no, that's why as soon as I saw that, I was like, man, I gotta call Brian. And so as soon as I saw that, man, I was like, hey, you all right? You got, and to kind of piggyback on what you were saying, even though growing up, I went through my own share of dark times. I after my parents' divorce, the worse I saw my dad get, I got more angry. and pissed off and more bitter about everything in life. And I never really expressed it too much to any of you guys, but at the same time, I knew you guys were always
Yeah,
there.
we knew. It's not like it was a secret though,
Yeah, but the funny
because
thing is,
we all saw it. Yeah, because we were close with your dad too, so we all saw it.
yeah,
Yeah, that was rough.
and that's
I can't even
the
imagine.
funny. The weird thing is that I was talking to Brandon last night about. It. I was like, you know what? I tried for 20, 30 years so much to try to hide it and try to be just like more. I tried to internalize everything and try to just keep it close to my chest, and like I didn't want to show my vulnerability to anybody. And kind of the last few months, I've been kind of figuring out things that I've been through in my life and kind of ask why that did what I did and why that now makes sense. And a perfect example is that when we used to go over to Randy's birthday parties or Halloween parties or Christmas parties, I usually sat on the couch and just kind of kept to myself. And it now dawns on me, everybody kept coming over and saying, "Hey, are you all right?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm just chilling." But looking at it now, it's like, they could see me kind of in that place in my head, even though I was trying to kind of shield it, try to pretend I
Yeah,
was
we
so.
all saw it. We all knew.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing because I thought I was pretty good at covering it, but I knew you guys were always there. If I needed to call and to vent or do whatever, I knew you guys were always there, and I think that's what kept me going. It's one of the kind of the anchor points of my life. That you guys, knowing that you guys were there, it kept me going in the right direction instead of going off to the left and over the cliff.
Dude, what the hell is that?
What?
Uh,
You got like
Time,
wind chimes or something going?
Me? Oh, yeah. Let me go
Yeah.
back inside.
ding dong, ding dong.
Yeah, it's seriously distracting.
All right, I'll go inside.
But no, there's another example about how important you guys have been to me. You'll appreciate this story, Ben or Brian. I maybe you remember it, maybe you don't. But this was probably I was probably 15, 16. It's not soon after I moved in below Brian or Ben. Um, I had this issue that I needed to get off my chest, but it was hard for me to kind of talk to you guys about it. And I kept beating around the bush for the longest time. I was on a three-way call with you and Eric. You guys were kind of telling me, "Hey, you know what the hell's going on? What's going on? What was so bad that you need to kind of vent out?" But I was so ashamed and so embarrassed and so like scared to tell you guys. And then when I finally told you guys, it was the dumbest thing. It's like it was me jerking off.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I
It
don't.
was,
No, I don't
I
remember that. But
you don't remember that, but it
no.
was because I never had that talk with my dad. I never had that talk with my uncles or grandparents or anybody like that. And so, like when you're going through puberty, you're going through those stages and urges, and you're doing things to yourself. And for a while, I thought I was kind of messed up. I thought I was kind of my wires were crossed upstairs. I was kind of a freak, and I remember being on the phone with you and Eric for probably 2 hours, and you guys were still trying to get to me to admit, hey, what's going on? Why are you so freaked out about this? And then when I told you guys were like, oh, are you serious? Fucking everybody does that. And I was just kind of like, are you fucking kidding me? All those guys do this stuff at our age, and you guys were like, well, yeah, duh. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I've been so stressed out and ashamed for like the last 3 or 4 years because I thought I had some kind of mental issue. And then when you guys kind of just said, no, everybody does that. That's kind of a natural thing. It's like, well, shit. Okay. Well, glad you guys told me.
Yeah, I remember because I can't. I kind of came late to that conversation, like at your apartment, at the apartment below, and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and then Dan Harding was there too, and then he never admitted it, but I just remember it. I'm like, I first of all I denied it, and then I was like, then I started smiling. I'm like, okay, like yeah, I probably did it right before I got here too, you know.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of a thing for our generation, is that we don't always need to tell each other what's going on, but we always know that you guys got each other's back. And I don't think guys like that today have that. I don't think guys feel that way. Do you
No,
think
and I
you feel
think
that
people
way?
now are so quick to judge each other over the dumbest shit that I think people are afraid to even say what's on their mind.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, people are real quick to jump to judgments because of one thing or another, and so it's easier just to bury that shit down and let it fester for a while.
And
Yeah.
that goes back to
I, oh, go ahead, Ben.
that goes back to that goes back to social media. Everybody's got a warped reality.
Yeah. That is for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of that started to really kind of take root before social media, though, because everybody just kind of just I don't know, just real quick to judge. Um, I remember, you know, back in the olden days, long, long ago, before Facebook and MySpace and all those things, when they were still kind of in their infancy, um, and people even then were still, just being in a social setting, you still had to kind of really watch what you say because somebody get their feelings hurt over the most random stupid shit you might say. I don't think it was quite as bad, but it was definitely starting to take root.
Oh yeah, college was like that. I went to a liberal arts college, so yeah, it was people looking to get offended.
What do you think was the I guess the point in time when that started happening? What do you think? Would you think? Because I hear a lot of this, like the feminist movement, kind of started making men feel like that.
That's been around a long time. It's probably always been there, just not as prevalent as it is now.
Um,
People getting judging each other. I mean, that's always been there.
yeah, that's always been there, but I think it's gotten worse over the last few decades, um, because it's become less about judging someone as it has as it is to judge them for the sake of judging them.
Yeah.
Um, and the whole getting offended thing, that that's a fairly new development, within the last, I don't know, what, 15-ish years or so.
Yeah, about that.
People just looking for any possible reason to get offended because somehow it's better to be a victim than it is to be anything else. So you find offense in every stupid little thing, and you start scraping the bottom of the barrel looking for a reason to be offended. Well, like, um, oh man, I remember there was several years back there was some group somewhere that made a huge deal about being offended over a box of cereal because one of the nuggets of cereal was a different shade than the others, and so it was automatically racist because that one nugget of cereal was having less fun than the rest of the nuggets of cereal in the bowl. And all it was just a like a half shade difference in the dye. And somebody made a big huge deal about it. People were screaming for boycotts from the cereal companies, for whatever Kellogg's or whoever the hell made that cereal. and just digging the bottom of the barrel to find a reason to be offended. Um, and it's and that's still going, and just and exponentially so. Um, you look at you watch you watch the news, and there's going to be some talking head on there. Oh, well, did you see the left angle of the red stripe on so and so's shirt? That's a supremacy sign. No, it's a fucking stripe, man. Get over it. It's not even that deep. But they start digging the bottom of the barrel looking for the stupidest thing to be offended by, or somebody put their hands in their pockets instead of down at their sides. That's their supremacy, some kind of supremacy thing, or whatever. They just come up with this stupid ass shit to be offended, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
because it's better to be a victim, because being a victim sells clicks on the internet.
so true.
Oh, I had an instructor in college. She was telling me, we haven't decided if Third Rock from the Sun is offensive or if it's just making fun of stereotypes. I'm like, it's a sitcom. But, she had a doctorate degree.
Yeah.
She had a doctorate degree, so she knew better than me. So,
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's just I don't know why men have become more pussified, I guess, if that's the right word. I'm sure people
That's
will
what.
call me out on that, but
I mean, yeah.
No, George Carlin came up with that term in his comedy show, pussification.
yeah, it's just, I think I was discussing this last night. I think guys are just becoming more soft. They're just becoming they're not, because we grew up with fathers and grandfathers that were like real manly men. You know, I mean, Brian, your dad was military and a cop, and he just kind of exhumed that whole what it is to be a man. He taught us, even me. He taught me indirectly of how to be, an adult male. I learned from him. I learned from Eric's stepdad. I learned from Randy, Big Randy. Not only just my dad and everybody else's dad, but it just seems like guys nowadays just are not, like I said, they're becoming soft.
Yeah. Well, and there's that old proverb or saying, or I'm not sure wherever it came from, but hard times create hard men. Um, Hard men create good times. Good times create soft men, and soft men create hard times. So it's that whole cyclic action, that maybe we had it too good for too long. Maybe.
Maybe. How do we get guys back on track? I don't know how to do that.
I don't either.
Unfortunately, probably hard times.
Yeah, and I
Because
think our time's coming.
when you've got a reason to harden up, you'll harden up, or you won't, and natural selection takes over.
That's true. I think also guys have in the last, especially the last 20 years, I've heard that term toxic masculinity. I think I think that has had some kind of an effect on them.
Oh, I agree. That's when everything is, but then that comes back to that victim mentality. Is when you got one segment screaming how everything's toxic, and that toxicity needs to be eradicated, the side that is being toxic has to adapt.
Yeah,
And it's And unfortunately, it's, that's the side that's screaming the loudest. And whoever screams the loudest gets the most attention. So you've got to adapt and deal with that.
Very true. And I think that's one of the reasons why guys just don't have that connection with other guys anymore. I think that has an effect on it. Just my opinion. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does.
I think you might be right there. I think you might be onto something. But also, I'm seeing a little bit of I think a little bit of a shift in the wind, um, because I think people are getting fed up with being blamed for everything that they have nothing to do with. People are getting sick of, you know, being told that they're the core of all that's evil simply because of their skin,
Yeah.
or or because they have sufficient amount of testosterone in their blood. I think some people are there's a shift. Might not be a strong one yet, but there's a slight shift in the wind. I think, um, might take a while for it to catch, but I think change is coming. I just don't know when or for how long it will, but I think it's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
I think so
think and
too.
I think some of it is also, kind of comes back to that cycle of, we've created good times and weak men. Some things are starting to get a little harder, whether it be, maybe the economy, whether it be just kind of world events, um, just the, kind of the circumstance of the world that we're in. I think is becoming a little more difficult, a little less soft. So it's going to force some people to start to harden up a little bit. And, we'll see, what form that takes. But I do think that there are some changes coming.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think there's going to be some fundamental changes that are going to happen, and it's hopefully it helps us because I see these guys in all these groups, and I'm just like, man, they're just God. We're failing as a species. I think, especially as men. You know, it, yeah, it's crazy. But so if you were to give guys out there that are listening right now some kind of advice, especially about friendships and stuff, what would you say?
I think I'd say you choose your tribe. You've got your family that you're born into, but you've also got the family you choose.
Yeah,
So choose wisely. You choose your brothers, choose your cousins. You choose your own tribe, um, and in doing so, choose the ones that are gonna support you and help you grow.
Yeah, I'm gonna
very
go back
true.
to the loyalty thing. Just be loyal, you know, and watch out for disloyalty. Then they're not part of your tribe anymore.
Very
I work with a
true.
gal.
I think that comes in with, choosing wisely.
Choosing wisely, yes. You said it pretty good. I'd had to add something,
No, I would agree on all that stuff. Um, so let me switch gears here for a second. Uh, So I one of the things I wanted to add on to just outside the whole serious conversation is to kind of add in something more fun. Like, I'll ask you guys a question. If you could take a pill today that would stop your aging, you can still die in other ways, but if you would not age anymore, ever, would you take it?
No,
No, I
No.
don't think
Why
so.
not? Why not?
Um, 'Cause I'm yeah, I just I'm kind of embracing the aging process. It sucks. It hurts. Um, it sucks that I can't do the things that I did when I was in my 20s. Um,
Yeah.
but I, yeah, I'm embracing it. I don't think immortality is for me.
no.
What about you, Ben? Why would you not take the pill?
Because I don't want to be here forever,
Really?
and
See,
I
I'm
know
the
you can die,
opposite.
brother.
See, I'm for some weird reason I'm the opposite. I think if there was a pill to stop my aging, I would. I would love to see space. I'd love to go onto another planet. Love to see other alien species. I think they're out there. Yeah, it would suck on the part of losing people I love. Family and friends and my wife or whatever, and dogs and stuff like that. That'd be the downside. But I don't know. There's just something in me that's like, if I could live another 1,000 years, it'd be cool. I guess that's my sci-fi side of me. That I'm like, man, that would be cool to be in spaceship, traveling to different planets, and just seeing all that stuff.
Oh, I definitely feel you there. I mean, and if Elon happens to catch this video, sign me up for that Mars mission, bro. I'm there. I'll go. I'll go die on fucking Mars. I'm done.
Would Ro be with you?
Probably. I don't think she wants to be on this planet either.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done. I'll go take my chances on Mars.
Beam me up, Scotty. Get me off this fucking rock.
Yeah, yeah. Elon, hook me up, man. Give me a ticket on that bus, man. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool when he actually gets that. Hopefully, we're all around still and make that happen. That'd be
I
something
think
to
it would
see.
definitely be cool to see. I definitely would like to see it happen. It'd be really cool if I could be on it when it happens, but then that's not in the cards. But it would be cool.
Well, they are trying to plan things where you can, for I don't know, millions of dollars. I'm sure you can take a vacation there and stuff.
Yeah, again, millions of dollars I don't have.
Yeah,
Connections to the people that I don't have. So yeah, I'm kind of out of luck on that one. But I still think it'd be cool to
never
do.
know. Yeah, never know. That would be cool to visit Mars. I'd want to come back though.
Nah, I'm cool. I'll go. I'll go hang out there and mine for water or something. Whatever. I don't care. But I'll figure it out. I'll grow fucking potatoes and shit. Whatever.
Make those long distance calls from Mars.
Yeah.
But well, I appreciate you guys doing this. This means a lot to me because when I first started figuring out how to do this, I tried to do it on my own, and trying to talk to a camera on my own it was impossible. I mean, it took me over a month to film like a 10-minute conversation, and I still didn't like it. So I figured out, I'm like, you know what? Other podcasts have like guests that come on that they don't know, but I wanted to do it where it was people I do know and I do trust, because it's important to me that I trust the people I'm talking to, especially when we're kind of opening up to things, and this is kind of, in a weird, strange way, this is kind of a therapy thing for me too. Um, because I'm, like I said, I'm used to keeping things inside and keeping it to close to my chest. But I doing this stuff is I'm trying to kind of open up and try to branch out and kind of heal at the same time. And and I know you guys have always had my back, and it's been one of the most important things in my life that I know that you guys have been there. If you guys hadn't been there, I probably wouldn't be here. That's just how important you guys have been. And so I love you guys to death. I appreciate everything you've done for me all my life. And, I'm glad that I got you guys in my life, and you guys are, and we talk every week, and
Yeah.
even though I know we're a couple thousand miles apart, I feel like you guys are just right down the street from me.
Yeah, this is nice right here. So
Yeah.
should zoom more often.
And yeah, that's kind of one of the ideas too. Is that what, because I got a list of a couple dozen subjects that we can talk about and stuff, and it's like I definitely want to have you guys back on more and talk about different aspects, different things, just not only about guys and guy stuff and guys being guys, but just in general, just general conversations too. And I think a lot of podcasts have stuff that's like structured, and I think it's not as authentic, if that's what I can't even say the damn word. It's not as on autistic. Ugh, I feel like I'm saying autistic.
Authentic, yeah,
Authentic. That's it. Thank you, Brian.
yeah.
It's not as authentic as a lot of, and so you know, this is just a couple episodes I've done, and I know I've got a lot to learn about this stuff, but I'm glad you guys are a part of it. It means a lot, and I hopefully we can keep doing this for a long time because I think it's important,
Yeah.
and I think it also shows other people that watch this how important friendship is because all three of us have a strong brother connection. I mean, we're family. We're not just friends. We're family. You know, and if other people can see that, I think it might give them a little bit more hope that hey, this stuff can happen. It's not easy, and you may find some bad guys out there that are just going to use you, but there are some good guys out there that they'll have your back through thick and thin. You know, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this kind of podcast thing. It's like I want to help people, and I was saying this last night. I spent my life kind of being angry and pissed off at the world because my dad was sick, and you guys, like you said, you guys saw it, and I'm kind of at a point in my life where I'm like, I want to start enjoying life. I want to start giving back. I still want to help people, you know, and I want my life to mean something and to have some kind of value because for 40 years I really didn't have it. I didn't feel like I had it because I was so kind of centered around my dad's disease that I never took steps to make my life better or even to be happy. So this is kind of the stepping stone for me going, hey, you know what? I'm really out of my comfort zone too. You guys know I'm kind of a shy guy, more or less. I'm kind of introvert, but this is just kind of way out of my wheelhouse. But I'm glad you guys are there because you guys are kind of giving me the motivation and the courage to kind of do this because it's a safe place for me. I hate to say the whole safe thing, but it helps me, and I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a pussy safe place.
No,
Oh,
not a pussy
we'll
safe
get
place.
you. We'll get you some safety pins or clothespins or something.
Oh, there you go. That'll do. But thanks again, guys, doing this.
Yeah.
It means a lot, and
Yeah.
hopefully
I
we can
can't
do
wait to do this.
more of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we can do
Get
more of
Eric
this.
in
I'm
on.
down.
Yeah, I
Get
want to. I
get.
want to, depending on people's schedules, try to do this maybe once a weekend or maybe every other weekend because I know everybody's got jobs and busy and stuff like that. But yeah, if we can try to
Get.
keep this going and kind of keep that momentum going, I think it'll help. It'll work.
Yeah. See if Eric will get involved
That'd be
when he's not
nice.
mi when he's not
Yeah,
MIA.
if he's not MIA, he'll probably come around eventually. It might take him a little bit, but yeah, I'd love to have him on too.
Yeah, it'd be good to get everybody on.
Yeah. But all right, guys. Well, that'll be it for now, and I guess we'll see you on the next run.
All right, sounds good.
All right, guys.
All right, later.
Yep. Later.